the procedure that should be followed by the mobile IP in terms of maintaining the connectivity. So there are 3 steps. The first one is the care of address, discovering the care of address. Second one is the registration of this care of address, and the third one is the tunneling of the care of address. Okay. So when the mobile node is moving from one location to another location, that is mobile node, and it is moving towards another range. So suppose this is Lucknow and this is Nagpur. So at the middle point of view or closer to there, the connection is getting down drastically. So here is a foreign agent, or you can say the router is there, who tracks the incoming connections and responsible for allocation the services of the new base station. So new base station is nothing but the Nagpur's base station. So that is called the discovering the care of address. So allocating of the services of the new base station means that the foreign agent will be responsible for allocating a temporary care of address or the IP address, such that when a person in a call or connecting with the internet, the services cannot get disrupted in the middle. That's why. So discovering the care of address is called when the mobile node must obtain the IP address from the DHCP server. So what is DHCP server means? The foreign agent having a pool of IP addresses, and it uses the dynamic host configuration protocol in order to allocate the IP address to the particular user when its signal is getting dropped. And foreign agent, that is called the router, is responsible for this. So first the mobile node is moving towards a new location, has to discover the particular agent, that is called the foreign agent. And the foreign agent discovery must be done by two types of nature. The first one is agent advertisement and the second one is agent solicitation. So agent advertisement and the solicitation is already discussed by me in my previous lecture, so you can see from there. So after the discovering of the particular care of address, it is allocated by the foreign agent to the newly incoming node, such that the connectivity cannot get disrupted. So this is for the temporary point of view, but in order to maintain the services for the permanent type of things, it has to register that particular care of address with the home address. So that is called the mapping also, in which the allocated care of address by the foreign agent will be mapped with the home address. The home address is nothing but the permanent IP address, which is allocated by the home agent in the home network. So for the continuity of the service, the CU is allowed by the foreign agent after the mobile node has to register the CU with the home agent. That is called the registration process. So what is the registration process basically? So when the care of address is allocated to a particular node, the mobile node has to make a request towards the home agent that this is my care of address and this is my home address, kindly do mapping, such that my future calls and my future connectivity with the internet will not get disrupted, and that is called the registration request. So first this request is received by the foreign agent, and the foreign agent is the entity which acts as a router, and because it is a router, it has the two main purposes. The first one is the discovery and the second one is the forwarding of the packets, which is created by the mobile node. So it has to forward the registration request packet towards the home agent. So when the home agent receives this packet, it has to maintain one entity in the table, that is called the mobility binding table. So the entities involved in this table is there are three entities. The first one is the mobile node registration ID. So registration ID is nothing but that same ID registration module that the particular mobile node receives from its home network. So it is indicated over there. Then the second one is the IP address, that is called the permanent IP address, that is allocated by the home agent inside the home network. And the third one is the care of address, which is the temporary address which is allocated by the foreign agent. So after the binding, this care of address will be get permanent, but original address will be this, but the temporary address, it's the care of address. So temporary is nothing but it will be changed, means until this mobile node is residing the particular location, new location, it will be act as the IP address in order to maintain the connectivity. So this is the registration process. So when the home agent maintains a table, then the reply point of view, home agent sends a message that is called the registration replies towards the foreign agent. So foreign agent will do the same procedure just like the home agent does. It maintains another table that is called the visitor table by creating three entities like the mobile registration ID, the second one is the care of address, and the third one is the IP address. So we can say my binding is completed and the care of address is successfully bind with the home address. So this can be understood like this diagram also. So in this diagram you can see, suppose this is the home network. So my home network is Lucknow and this is a foreign network. So foreign network is the Nagpur, and foreign agent, that is a router. And suppose this is the mobile node. So mobile node is visiting from Lucknow to the Nagpur. So that's why mobile node is allocated temporary care of address by this foreign agent in order to maintain the connectivity. But after some time the mobile node has to make the registration, so it initiates a registration request. So because it is act as a router, the foreign agent, that's why the first registration request will be received by this one, and the router will forward towards the home agent, that is inside the home network. So when the home agent sees this registration request, it has to first matches the registration ID with its mobility binding table attributes. If the registration ID is matched, then it will understand, okay, this mobile node is registered inside my network, and it is making the request for the registration. So it creates entry for the care of address and the corresponding home address. So once it is done, the home agent will send a registration reply, and because foreign agent is a router, it will catch this registration reply. So when this is catched by the foreign agent, it has to maintain the visitor list. The visitor list is nothing but the same as the mobility binding table. So after creating the entry inside the visitor list, it has to send the registration reply towards the mobile node. So once the mobile node receives this registration reply, it will understand, okay, I am registered with this new network, and my connection will not get disrupted in the future. So that is called the registration process. And the third one is called the tunneling. So tunneling is a procedure in which a particular entity wants to communicate with the mobile node. Suppose if there is an entity 1 and there is an entity 2, and this is suppose Richa and this is Nidhi, and Richa wants to communicate with the Nidhi, but actually the Nidhi is residing in the Nagpur, and the Richa is not know about the current position of Nidhi, and Richa assumes that Nidhi is residing in the Lucknow. So that's why the Richa will initiates the communication with the Nidhi's permanent IP address, that is the home address. But the packet will not get delivered to the Nidhi, because the Nidhi's IP address will get in change, and it will the Nidhi is using its care of address in order to perform the communication. So how the packets will be tunneled towards the Nidhi, that is the procedure is called the tunneling. So basically it inherits IP within IP encapsulation. So what it does, suppose this is a home agent, or you can say home network, and there is a home agent, and here is a foreign agent, foreign network, and Nidhi is residing over there. If the Nidhi is residing over there and Richa is an entity which wants to communicate with the Nidhi, so Richa will initiate one IP packet. The IP packet will carry the source and the destination ID. So source ID will be the Richa IP address, and the destination ID will be the Nidhi IP address, that is permanent IP address. So because Richa does not know about the recent location of the Nidhi, it has to forward the packet towards the Nidhi original IP address, that is the home address. The packet will be diverted to over here, that is home agent. So when the home agent receives it, so by looking the registration ID of the Nidhi, it knows that this particular node is not residing in my network, it is residing in another Nagpur location, care of address. So it has to forward or diverted this packet towards the foreign agent. So this diversion from the home agent to the foreign agent is done by the IP within IP encapsulation. So what the home agent will do, the home agent will create one extra packet in which another two things, that is source node and the destination node, will be take place. For the source, it will append its IP address, that is home agent IP address, and for the destination node it has to put the care of address of Nidhi. And for the encapsulation point of view, it has to append this in front of the original message. So it will be source and it will be destination, again it will be source and it will be destination. So original packet was Richa ID and the Nidhi home address, IP address, and the source one will be home agent, IP address, and COA of Nidhi. And this encapsulation packet has to be forwarded towards the foreign agent by the home agent. So when the foreign agent receives this encapsulated packet, it has to come to know by using the first header, that is home agent. So it will get to know this particular packet is forwarded by the home agent. So and it is a care of address. So within its visitor table, it has to searches for this care of address, that which entity acquired a particular care of address. So from this table, it has to know that this particular care of address is inherited by the Nidhi entity. So it will directly forward this packet towards the Nidhi. So the Nidhi receives only this one entity, like the Richa IP address and the Nidhi IP address. Like this one entity will be received by the Nidhi, this one packet. So when the Nidhi receives this packet, it will get to know, okay, Richa is wants to communicate with me. That's why the source ID is Richa over there and destination is me. So that whole procedure is called the tunneling. So actually there are some drawbacks regarding the tunneling, like the process is very much complex, like encapsulation and so many packets are flooding in the network. So their inclusion lot of delay over there in the network, and it will be not good for the performance of mobile IP. That's why we have to jump the topic, that is route optimization on the mobile IP. So what in the route optimization in the mobile IP, it is introduced in order to minimize the delay in the network, and also it has to increase the efficiency of the network. And the last term is it has to reduce the network traffic, because there are a lot of flooding type of packets over there, like the encapsulation, then correspondent nodes packet, binding tables. So a lot of things are there. That's why it has to mitigate this network traffic problem. And basically the tunneling is a 6-step process. So how it is 6-step process? This is the foreign agent, this is a home agent, this is a foreign agent, and this is the mobile node. So when the mobile node is inside the foreign agent, then the mobile IP comes into account. Otherwise the mobile IP is not needed. If the mobile node is residing in its home network, then the mobile IP is not needed. The mobile IP will comes into account when the mobile node is changing its location, and it has to maintain the connectivity and the continuity of the service. So currently the mobile node is nothing but myself, that is Nidhi, and it is residing in the Nagpur. So the foreign agent will be nothing but the router of the or the base station of the Nagpur. So first I have to make the registration request to the foreign agent, that is step 1 here you can see. Then the foreign agent will forward that request to the home agent, that is the registration request in the second step. Then the home agent will do binding as well as the registration reply towards the foreign agent, that is the step 3. Then the foreign agent will again do the binding and the registration reply, that is step 4. And the step 5 is when a particular correspondent node wants to communicate with me, it has to forward the packet, it has to send the packet towards the home agent, that is the step 5. Then the home agent will do end-to-end IP within IP encapsulation and forward to the packet towards the foreign agent, that is called step 6. Because I am residing in the foreign agent's network, it will be get diverted to my medium automatically. So that's why there are total 6 steps over there. And these 6 steps are very complex. That's why the mobile IP has to enable a direct notification technique, that is called the direct tunneling. So in this procedure, the correspondent node will get directly communicated with the mobile node. So it will not need to forward the packet towards the home agent and the foreign agent, and the foreign agent will send the packet to me. It can direct perform the communication with the mobile node, direct communication. So that's why this procedure is done by using the binding messages. So basically there are 4 types of binding messages. The first one is the binding request, second one is the binding acknowledgement, and the third one is the binding update, and the fourth one is the binding warning. So binding request is nothing but the you can understand as a registration request and the reply packets. And what is the binding acknowledgement? The binding acknowledgement is like in order to establish the reliable communication. So when you require a reliable communication, then you have to use the technique called the acknowledgement type of packets. Then the binding update. So binding update is the very important one in order to perform the optimization in the tunneling process, and it inherits upper of the two things, that is binding request and the binding acknowledgement in the binding update also, and the binding warning. So in order to perform the reduction of flooding messages inside the network, we have to perform the binding warnings. So what is the binding update? Basically, in the binding update, suppose a corresponding node wants to communicate with me. So first the corresponding node send a packet to the home agent. So when the home agent receives a packet from the corresponding node, suppose this is a Richa and I am Nidhi, and I am residing in the this is Nidhi, and I am residing in the foreign agent part. So first Richa has to communicate with me, so it has to forward the packet towards the home agent, and the home agent has a mobility binding table, MBT, mobility binding table. So from this mobility binding table, and because the Richa forward sends a packet with the source ID and the destination ID. So destination ID is nothing but the Nidhi permanent IP address, that is the home address, and here it's Richa home address. So from this destination home IP address, the home agent will get sure that okay, this entity is getting registered from my home network, and this is it's a permanent IP address. So from this permanent IP address, it can fetch its corresponding care of address also, IP address, care of address, and the registration ID. So it will get to know that okay, it is a care of address. So when the home agent gets to know the care of address of the particular node, then it has to forward, it has to send one packet towards the corresponding node, that is called the binding update. So what is the binding update? The binding update is nothing but the packet with informing to the corresponding node regarding the new IP address of the particular mobile node, particular entity, that is Nidhi, that the care of address of this Nidhi is this one, so kindly use this IP address instead of its permanent IP address. So kindly do not forward me, do not send me this type of packets again to me. You can generate one packet, that is source ID and the destination ID. In the source ID you can feed your IP address, and the destination ID you can use the care of address of the Nidhi. So Richa will understand in its updates its table. So Richa will maintain one cache, that is called the binding cache. So in the binding cache, it will update my location with the care of address, right? So that is called the binding update. Also suppose in the second thing, the Richa do not want to forward, do not want to send packet to the Nidhi, but Richa wants to know the current location of the Nidhi. So Richa will send a binding request. Okay. So like correspondent node will send binding request to home agent. Like I want to know a particular node's care of address, so home agent will again send a binding update message to the corresponding node, that this will be the particular care of address, kindly update it, right? So after getting the care of address, the corresponding node, which is acting as a Richa, so it will update its binding cache. So now the point is, because it is a cache and cache is a temporary type of storage, means it has to store the contents for a temporary time. So how much time it will carry this information about the care of address of a node? So actually near the expiry, so every cache contents have some expiration time. So near to the expiration time, the corresponding node again send a binding request message to the home agent. Okay, so what we'll do, upon nearing the expiration, corresponding node send binding request message to home agent. So when the home agent receives this binding request for the particular node, for a particular mobile node, then the home agent will reply binding update with care of address. Like still a particular mobile node has a care of address is this one, so kindly increase the expiration time of your cache. And also for initiating a reliable communication, there is one entity also that is called the binding acknowledgement over there. Yes, yeah. So when the particular correspondent node is maintaining the communication with the home agent, then the home agent asks for the acknowledgement also for the reliable communication. Okay, ask for the acknowledgement also for maintaining the reliable communication. Now the last one is called the binding warning. So what is binding warning? In the binding warning, there is a foreign agent, and the foreign agent receives a tunneled message. Like tunneled message is this one, in which there are 4 addresses, IP within IP वाला जो मैसेज था. अगर फॉरेन एजेंट मेरा ये वाला मैसेज रिसीव करता है फ्रॉम द पर्टिकुलर होम एजेंट, so what the foreign agent will do, the foreign agent sends binding warning to the home agent as well as to the correspondent node also. Okay, it indicates that kindly update your databases, kindly do not message me the IP within IP messages again and again, and update your caches and do the direct communication with the correspondent node, right? So when a foreign agent receives a tunnel message, it sends a binding warning to the home agent as well as the correspondent node. So by receiving this binding warning message, home agent will send the binding request, the binding update message to the correspondent node. It tells to the correspondent node that kindly update your cache with the new care of address of the mobile node. Kindly do not use your the mobile node original IP address. I will not do the encapsulation again and again. So kindly replace the original IP address with the care of address for the next time communication. So after getting this binding update, the correspondent node will receive this message and update with the care of address, and next time it can use the care of address in spite of the original address and can make the direct communication with the mobile node. So that is called the binding bonding. So you can understand these things with the help of diagram also. So in the IP, with an IP you can say there are two packets, two IP packets, and for the binding bonding this is one of the diagram. So this is the mobile host, that is Nidhi, and this is correspondent host, that is Richa, and this is foreign agent, and this is home agent. So suppose correspondent nodes want to communicate, sorry, it is Richa. So once correspondent nodes want to communicate with me, it has to send the binding request to the home agent. The home agent will forward the binding updates. So after updating the care of address of the mobile host, that is Nidhi, the Richa will forward the message that is called the binding acknowledgement in order to maintain the reliable communication. Okay, so next time when the foreign agent receives a particular message IP within IP formats, so it has to send the binding bonding to the home agent as well as the correspondent host, right? So it is very simple and it is very interesting. So I think it is pretty clear to all of the students. If you have any doubts, you can let me know in the form of a mail. Okay, thank you.